And one thing I probably should have pointed out a lot sooner, folks, is that when you destroy all the capsules in Act 1 and 2 of each zone, it automatically turns the boss battle, Act number 3, into a good future. Which is basically just restoring the zone from whatever Eggman's plan or whatever he's done to it is. One thing I was reflecting on once again is just that I wish these boss battles were a little bit more challenging. And even the final battle with Eggman's kind of a letdown, but it doesn't really get in the way of how much I appreciate Sonic CD. But yeah, this one's pretty self-explanatory. You just get all the air bubbles from him, and once he's exposed, you hit him once, and that's the big bonk. But yeah, pretty easy stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm losing rank.
Hell yeah, I got his ass!
But anyways, folks, that is the end of Title Tempest, and the next zone, I believe, is Quartz Quadrant, which, for the longest time, I would probably say was my favorite zone in the game. Everything about it's just beautiful. The music's great. The past theme is probably my favorite song out of all of them, and the past area in this game is probably my favorite in the game, because it's just so lush and green, and I really like what they did there, and I do get to show that off at least once in the playthrough, and I'm glad I managed to do that. But yeah, whenever I was younger, I remember specifically that for the longest time on my first laptop, my wallpaper was Sonic running through the past part of Quartz Quadrant. I'm pretty sure that was one of my first Facebook wallpapers, or not wallpapers, whatever those are called. I think they're, yeah. I'm an idiot right now. But yeah, there is one small gripe about this zone. It's just the enemy placement's a little obnoxious, but other than that, this zone's pretty awesome. I appreciate every zone in its own way in Sonic CD, and it's just every time I play one of these games for the channel, whether it's Sonic 1, 2, or CD so far. Every time I play a game for the channel, a lot of fond memories come back to me. So like I said, about 11 years ago, I first picked up Sonic CD, and just a lot of cool memories, and I spent a lot of time in the summer of 2010 playing Sonic CD and the Gems collection. When I think back to my youth, there are a lot of happier memories that I can recall from the summer of 2010. Because that's whenever I had first picked up Sonic Gems collection. That was about the time I'd got into Dragon Ball, that whole franchise. I'm not the biggest anime nerd, but I do like the Dragon Ball series and Dragon Ball Z. Of course, this is around the time that Dragon Ball Z Kai premiered on Nicktoons or Nickelodeon or one of those, and that was my introduction to that franchise. Maybe I'll play a couple of those games like Budokai on the channel one day, because I played the crap out of the first Budokai game on the GameCube, and a lot like Jim's collection, I recently acquired that for my GameCube collection when I was going back through and building it up. But yeah, this is the past area in Quartz Quadrant, and it's my absolute favorite, and like I said, I'm very glad I at least get to show off a section of it, because it's beautiful. Just so much green, and then the background when you pass all the greenery, it just, ooh. it hits in all the right places, and then the music's so chill. It's just, it's wonderful. So I'm glad that before I leave Quartz Quadrant, I got to show some of that off. But that's the end of Act 2. And this was one of the first special stages that I f***ed up, so that is one that I left out. And if I recall, I usually restarted a bunch of my playthroughs of Sonic CD through the recording process right about here, because I usually didn't have this problem in past playthroughs, but I would die a lot here, and I was struggling with this boss battle. I would say this is probably about the hardest Eggman battle in the game, and it's not even really a battle so much as just dodge the spikes he throws at you. And I mean, it's a pretty cool concept though. And it just about got it to where I would say just run on the conveyor belt a couple more seconds, and yep, that's it, folks. Another Eggman battle down. And that is the end of Quartz Quadrant. And we're on to Wacky Workbench Zone, which will be zone number 5. This was another one of those zones I almost considered switching the American and Japanese soundtrack around for to record, because I would say my second favorite song in the entire, if we're considering the Japan, European, US releases Sonic CD, if we're considering all the soundtracks total, I would have to go with the North American Wacky Workbench theme as my second favorite song in the game. It's just really good, and it's really funky. There's a really slick funk kind of thing going on, and it just works. It just works. And even the boss battle theme in the Bad Future, even that one's even better, I would actually say. I would say that theme's a little bit better on my scale, because there's just a whole lot of funk going on, and then there's this really damn good ripping guitar solo that just comes in at the right moment. It's really good. But yeah, one thing I've noticed the more I play through this is that you kind of want to stay on those platforms there, more so if you don't want to bounce around a bunch, because if you land on them little checkerboards that light up, you'll end up with that, bouncing around.
Then I was frozen today!
But yeah, there are a couple of things about this zone that do get on my nerves a little bit more, but I guess it's just a case of I need to get better. Because until I started recording for this channel, I'd never really taken to the route of staying on those platforms, more so than just bouncing around freely on the checker thing. And then there's those other platforms that kind of spin you around a little bit. But yeah, once I got here, because I had the GameCube, in the Gems Collection version, you're automatically stuck with the North American soundtrack. But it's in the remakes that you actually get to select which one you have in your playthrough. But usually when I'd get to this zone, I would just put the controller down for a couple of minutes. And I think that's when I discovered that stupid thing where in Sonic CD, if you do not touch the controller, if you do not move Sonic for 3 minutes straight, he will say, "I'm out of here," and then he'll jump off the screen and kill himself. I can't remember if that results in a game over, or if that just takes a life. But I think that's a pretty cool thing they added. And it's some of the earliest, I'm pretty sure it's the earliest form of voice acting that we would get from Sonic, other than Steve Urkel voicing Sonic in the cartoons at the time. But yeah, this is Wacky Workbench Act number 2. And I believe that's, no, Sonic 2 is the first time we would see one of those boost panels. But that's kind of what that basically is right there. And those things would become a staple in most 2D Sonic games. Well, they're in 3D Sonic games too. Another game I can't wait to record for the channel at some point is Sonic Mania. I'm sure that now that I have all this capture equipment and the new PC, I will probably be staying up and screwing my sleep schedule up even more. I'll probably just spend countless nights recording and yeah, I somehow managed to do that. I got myself crushed. And I also wanted to point out in the second act of Wacky Workbench, the capsule's right there, and for some reason I attempted to go back for it, which doesn't really make any sense, because I don't think I even got it in Act 1, but I still went back for it just to show it off. But yeah, the past of Wacky Workbench I also thought looked really aesthetically pleasing, and yeah, I know that's like a phrase I say a lot, aesthetically pleasing, but really it is. Man, this game, all the graphics and everything about it just stick out to me. And the soundtrack is an absolute 10 out of 10. Whether it's the Japan or the US soundtrack. I know I say Japan European release a lot, but they're the same thing. But the soundtracks for both the US and Japan version are 10 out of 10s for me. And it's always kind of hard to decide for sure which soundtrack I'm going to go with when I play through it. But yeah, they're both pretty damn good. But yeah, this is a gimmick I'm kind of glad they never went with again in another Sonic game, is those bouncy panel things at the bottom. Because this zone, I guess I have less of an appreciation for this zone than I used to. There was a secret, either in Act 1 or Act 2, there's like a secret area where this water fountain looking statue it'll like, if you find it, it'll shoot a bunch of rings at you or something. And I don't manage to show that off, which was kind of a bummer, because I'm pretty sure in the PS3, Xbox 360 versions, you actually get an achievement for reaching the statue. But anyways, folks, that's the end of part 3. And this playthrough's chugging along pretty good. Sonic made a good future in zone number 2. And I will see you all in part number 4.
Celebration, yeah.